Maybe some will join later. I'm sure. I hope so.
This is Shavi here. She's only 8.
Wow.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we recite the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is one of our really special books. And Shavi is one of our special children because she can read the Sanskrit.
Wow.
And she knows it by heart. Of 18 of the 20 of the verses. So we're going to read the Sanskrit, and we'd like a volunteer to read the English translation. Who would like to do that?
I'd like to do that.
Yeah, okay. So,
shall I do it?
Yes.
Do you want to read? You're a good reader.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So, Shavi, you can start, okay? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhvamulam Adah Shakam Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavid.
Okay, I'll do it then. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas.
Adhaschodvam prasutastasya shakha guna pravruddha vishaya pravalaha adhascha mulanyanu santatani karmanubandhini manushya.
The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the 3 modules of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society.
Narupamasye hatatopalapyate nanto najate naja sampratishta ashvattamenam suvirodamulam asanga shastrena dradena chitva tata padam tat parimatitavyam yasmin gatanya nivaratanti bhuyah tameva charyam purusham prapatye yatah pravritti prasuta purane.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything is extended since time immemorial.
Nirmana moha chidasanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha tandve vimukta sukha dukha sangner kachanti mudha padamavyayam tat.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. That supreme abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind.
Shariram yadvapnoti yachapyukramati shvara ग्रहित्वैतानि संयान्ति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्.
The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another. As the air carries aromas, thus he takes one kind of body and again quits to take another.
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते.
The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects.
उत्क्रामन्तं श्रितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानां न पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषा.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this.
यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं यतन्तोऽपि कृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्ति चेतसा.
The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try.
यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयते किलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाप्नोत् तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम्.
The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me.
गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयामि अमोजसा पुष्णामि चोषधीः सर्वः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon, and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables.
अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचामि अन्नं चतुर्विधम्.
I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuff.
सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदेषु सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृतवेदविदेव चाहम्.
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known indeed. I am the compiler of Vetanda, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
त्वाविमो पुरुषो लोके क्षर चाक्षरे एव च क्षर सर्वाणि भूतानि कुटस्थोच्चर उच्यते.
These are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible.
उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेति उदारतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य भगवद्व्यर ईश्वरः.
Besides these 2, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
यस्माक्षरमिति तोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमम् अतस्मै लोके वेदे च प्रतितः पुरुषोत्तमः.
Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person.
यो मामेव सम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत.
Who knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमानः स्यात् कृतकृतयश्च भारत.
This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection.
Jai. Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.
Yay.
Yay! Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Jai.
Sunita.
Oh,
And Shavi ki Jai. Thank you so much, Shavi. And you must be tired today, huh? Whole day at school.
Yeah.
Thank you for
bedtime.
and you go to sleep now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. May the Lord bless you with his eternal devotional service. Thank you so much. Huh? And who's that? Katit?
Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He's got twin brothers,
5-year-old.
5-year-olds, and they are also learning these verses. Yeah, amazing.
Amazing. By heart as well. Yeah, it's nice to learn them young, isn't it? To catch them when they're young, to learn them quickly.
That's right. Thank you so much, Shavi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You take care. Oh, thank you very much for joining. Today is special evening. This whole month actually is according to the Vedic tradition. Vedic sort of means Hinduism, but Hinduism is a very general term which can include many different philosophies. Vedic philosophy is the science of the Supreme Lord, and that is a little bit more specific. And I was going to ask Sunita, what do you suggest we talk about? We've got so many different topics.
You really explained it well about Purushottama, what it means with the 13 months and the way, lunar and solar aligns. That's really, because I didn't even know, I wasn't aware, and I was in Vrindavan 3 years ago.
Oh, yes.
I messaged you, remember? And that was that one's been an auspicious time. And it's nice if you explain about the month, and because it's mid-September to mid-October, from what I understand it. So
last time was May, June. It varies.
okay.
The calculation to work out exactly where.
Right.
So okay, I can explain that, and we can take it from there. Now let me just find it. Okay. So this month, as Sunita is saying, is a very special month. It's called Purushottama, and it's very special because it's been blessed. Actually, it started because extra month comes when the lunar and solar calendars need to be realigned with each other. The lunar calendar basically is on average 29.5 days long. And the solar calendar, as we know, because that's the calendar we follow in the West, is 31 days. So generally on average, the lunar calendar, which is followed still quite vastly in India, we go by the moon, and our celebrations are according to the lunar calendar. Generally is 1 day short per month, per solar month. So what happens is every roughly 3 years, can be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. Some calculations are done, and an extra month is added of about 29 days. So this year it's from the 18th of September to the 16th of October. So till next Friday. When this month originally came to be present in the world, it was regarded as an inauspicious month. It was regarded as a month where No rituals would be done. No new businesses would start. No weddings would take place. No like new homes would be bought. It was considered a dirty month, if you like. And they started calling it names like Mal Mas, which were really quite rude names. Now, in the Vedic tradition, every month is a personality, a special personality, because it's related to time, and time destroys everything. So time, the Lord controls the world. So these months are very important. But this Purushottam month, this was called, you could call it Adhik Mas. Adhik means extra, Mas means month. It didn't have any protector. And this is going back a long time ago, in millenniums ago. And this personality felt aggrieved. And she approached Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and aired her grievances, that what is the point of my existence? Because whenever I come, I'm simply insulted and no auspicious activities take place. Now, when Krishna heard this plea, and according to the Vedic tradition, there's only one God. We may know him by many different names. You will know him as Christ. Some will know him as Allah. We know him as Krishna. One God, many different names. And according to the Vedic tradition, this one God also can have many different incarnations, we call them. They're as powerful as the original. But according to many of our texts, the original personality of Godhead is Krishna. So Krishna heard the plea from this month, and he is very kind-hearted. The Lord is extraordinarily compassionate. And when he heard that she had no protector, he said to her, I will become your protector. I will marry you and become your husband. And just like the wife inherits everything the husband has, everything I have also belongs to you. So my fame, my opulence, my ability to give benedictions, I also equally make you potent to have that same opulence, same facility. On top of that, my name is Purushottam, and I will give you my name. So just like usually when the ladies marry, they take the husband's name. So she became known as Purushottam Mas, after the name of Krishna. So you could say Mrs. Purushottam. So she was, of course, very happy. And the Lord kept blessing her, saying that you will imbibe my qualities. You will be the master of all the months. You will become very worshipable. And anybody who does observes this month in way of some sort of devotion to me, that person, I will destroy all of their karmic reactions from the past. So we may have done things in the past for which we haven't suffered yet, and maybe we will suffer. So those will be all destroyed. I'll burn up all the sins. So this month went from the lowest to the highest. She is now revered. So when she comes every 3 years, devotees of the Lord try to please her very much because she is very kind-hearted as well. And there are different things that devotees do to please her and to please the Lord as well. And these are some of the items that we do. We chant the names of the Lord because the Lord is not different from his name. He's spiritual. He's known as being omnipotent, which means that he's present in his sound, he's present in his form, and he's present in his name. So when we chant his name, we believe that we are directly associating with God himself, because he's not different from his name and the sound of his name. So we chant on beats. So we would chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which goes like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We would try to meditate more on Krishna's, his qualities, his pastimes, because God is great that we know, but you can't fall in love with somebody necessarily just because they're great. So Bill Gates is very rich. Yes, we may respect him because he's rich, but it doesn't mean we're going to fall in love with him. But if we get to know Bill Gates and get to know his character and his personality, then we may be able to become close to him. Similarly with God, we know he's great, but that's not enough to fall in love with him. But the beauty of the Lord is he's very sweet. His pastimes are very sweet. His dealings with us, his devotees, are very, very sweet. So when you add sweetness to the Lord's qualities, then one can fall in love with the Supreme Lord. So we try to read about him more, understand what he does and his qualities, his pastimes. We offer a very auspicious ghee lamp every day to Radha Krishna during this month. We would do Aarti and Parikram of Tulsi. Tulsi is one of his very special devotees who's come to this world in the form of a tree to accept our service to become close to Krishna. Or we would offer flowers to Radha Krishna or Tulsi. Daily we would read this chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the most incredible chapters. The Bhagavad Gita is a very special scripture, and it doesn't belong to the Hindus. God does not belong to any particular faith or religion. God is God. And the Bhagavad Gita is a discussion between God, Krishna, and his devotee, because his devotee has become a little bit bewildered. And I can explain that in a little while, why he's bewildered and why we read this 15th chapter. We take a vow to become a little bit more peaceful, truthful in this month, try to reduce our eating, because that's, I think, a universal issue with everybody pretty much, that we eat too much. So we try to eat a little bit less in this month. And I must say I'm not succeeding and in that well, and I must blame the person sitting next to me for cooking such nice.
Your better half.
Definitely the better half. I used to say the bigger half.
Because the better half.
Bigger than her now, so.
And the reason you actually try to eat less is that you can spend that time actually doing more things in relation to God, like reading or chanting or things like that. So it's basically to simplify your life this month.
Spend less time in the kitchen. And to do a little bit of charity. Charity is always good. It's always good for the Atma, soul, because it makes us feel good, because we have, and when we see somebody who doesn't have, we obviously would feel some sort of compassion. It's always good to give. If we get this mood of giving, we'll never get disappointed, because if we have a mood of taking all the time, I want, there's always going to be disappointment, because we never get what we want.
Expectations too high.
Yeah, expectations are too high. But if we have a mood of, I want to give, well, nobody can stop you giving. Can't stop giving love. Can't stop giving respect. But if you're expecting love and respect, you may get very disappointed. Yeah. So charity is always good anyway. So what happened, this Bhagavad Gita was actually spoken on a battlefield. It's a book of peace spoken on a battlefield. Contradiction in terms. what happened was basically the Lord, he wasn't going to take part in the war. There was a war there was a disagreement between two families, and it ended up with, if you like, World War One. And there was a lot of people on this battlefield. And Arjun, who was the main commander-in-chief of the good side, if you like, the side of righteousness, who's Krishna was acting as the chariot driver of Arjun. Arjun asked him, please take this chariot into the middle of the battlefield before the battle. I want to see who is on the other side, come to fight with us. So Krishna obliged. He acted as the order carrier of his devotee. This is the beauty, this is the sweetness of the Lord. He obeyed his devotee, Arjun, who told him, take my chariot in the middle. I want to see who's there. And Krishna took him right in front of his own grandfather, who he loved, his own teacher, who he loved, his cousins, who had a little dispute with them, but essentially still loved, and his uncles. And suddenly Arjun thought, why am I here in this battlefield? Why am I fighting here? Why am I going to kill these people? Am I not incurring sin? Then he questions the Lord in many different ways. And the Lord gives him a roadmap to life. The instructions have been recorded in the Bhagavad Gita. And this Bhagavad Gita is actually a timeless scripture, because the instructions in it are as relevant today as they were when Krishna spoke to Arjun, because he talks about who we really are. We're not this body. I don't know if I got that picture here.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the first instructions he gives is we're not the body, because the body keeps changing. But we still remember our childhood, for example. So we haven't changed, but the body has changed completely. We go to schools a lot. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to a school, and we explain this philosophy to them, and they get it. I ask them, did you have the same body that you have when you were a child? And they always say, no. But are you the same person? Yes. So you can't be the body, right? Because the body's changed. And they always get it. They're such intelligent children. So we can't be the body. So the Gita, Krishna explains that we are actually the spirit soul, which lives eternally. It's lived in the past. It's going to live in the future. And according to the law of karma, which is actions of our actions in our past lives, or this life, sorry, and our desires and our consciousness, we will get our next body, depending on what we are doing, what we're thinking, what we want. God will give us a body to match exactly those things. He's the perfect tailor. So somebody who likes to sleep all the time, then perhaps Mother Nature will arrange a body for them of a polar bear, so they can fulfill what they are doing, what they are thinking, and what they want to do in their next life. And that's not a good thing. Children always say, hey, yeah, I want to become a tiger, or I want to be a lion. And I'm trying to explain to them that, no, actually, you've already got the dream body. You got a human body. You're very fortunate, because in this human body, you can distinguish between right and wrong. You can think about the higher values of life, how we are. Yeah, and you can question, what is the purpose of life? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do while I'm here? And the Lord also describes to Arjun, this is part of the roadmap, that whenever there is a decline in religion and an increase in irreligion, at that time he comes to re-establish religion and destroy irreligion. But more importantly, and again, this is where the sweetness of the Lord comes in. This is the main reason why the Lord appears in this world, so that we can get to know his transcendental nature, why he comes, and what he does. Because if we can understand that, his appearance and his activities, then after leaving this body, after the soul leaves this body, we won't take birth again in this world, but we will go to his world. And his world is a world where there is no death. In this world, the soul doesn't suffer a death, but the soul suffers a change of body, which is called death. And that change is so final that everything we have accomplished in our life is left behind. We don't take anything material forward with us. So it's a very final sort of status. So Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita how we can live our life so that in our next life, we don't lose our spiritual consciousness. If we develop this spiritual consciousness, we take that with us. And if we develop it to such an extent where we are fully conscious of God, then we would actually leave this world and go to that world where we would attain again our spiritual body and leave our material body here. That's essentially the message of the Bhagavad Gita. And what this 15th chapter is all about, it describes our world, which is like a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. This world is like a hotel. We're here temporarily, but unfortunately, our mood and attitude is that this is where we're going to be forevermore. So we decorate this world. We don't think about anything beyond this world. But if we live in a hotel room, we wouldn't necessarily put up pictures of our family. We wouldn't buy new furniture. We wouldn't decorate the place. We wouldn't put a ensuite in it because it's a hotel room. We're only going to be there a short period of time. So Krishna is explaining that this is like a temporary place, a hotel room. Don't get too attached here. Become detached with the sword of knowledge. And he describes the spiritual world, his world. Then he also describes our natures, how we become attached to material things, and then that sort of carries us into life after life in this material world. He also describes about himself, how he is Purushottama. Purush means enjoyer, Uttam means the topmost. God is the topmost enjoyer, and that's his name, Purushottama. And how we can tap into that enjoyment that the Lord is also enjoying by linking with him through meditation or singing his holy names. And that way we also become freed from the attachments of this world and become attached to him. That's essentially what Bhagavad Gita is and why we read the 15th chapter every single day in this month. So I wanted to stop there, and if you have anything that you'd like to contribute or ask, very happy for you to do, or challenge. I don't mind at all, because this we love discussions, and nobody's necessarily wrong because there are many paths into central London. There are many paths to God.
Can I just ask something then? Like every day going through the cantos is different to the Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? The cantos is completely something different.
They are. Where Bhagavad Gita leaves, like stops, Bhagavad Gita stops at the point where Krishna says to Arjun, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me, and do not worry, I will protect you. Right? That's where Bhagavad Gita ends.
Mm-hmm.
The Bhagavatam, that's where it starts. It
Yeah.
starts at that point. So if you read, for example, the first verse, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the priest, the person who spoke the Gita is saying, I offer my obeisances to you. So I surrender to you. And the second verse, he's saying something very similar to the Bhagavad Gita, that I offer myself to you. So where the Bhagavatam is considered to be a higher state of realization of scripture. Gita is the Lord speaking to Arjuna.
Okay.
Bhagavatam is two devotees speaking about God.
Right.
And devotees, they love the Lord so much that they will be able to explain about the Lord much more detail to the recipient of that knowledge. So we are getting the benefit of two devotees speaking about God. And there's another book which is even higher, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it's two devotees speaking about another devotee. So we're looking forward to that one. But this one we have to get through first. It'll take about 6 months minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. Bhagavad Gita is basically, it tells you how to live your life. Okay. Bhagavatam, which we're looking at now,
Yes.
is basically, the sweetness of God. It tells you all about, what he's like, what he does and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, lets you fall in love with him by reading that.
Okay.
And then Nabi said the next book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, is basically God as a devotee. So how one behaves in this world as a devotee, and how to go back, how to basically use that love that you've discovered about God and imbibe it into yourself, really, and live a life like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots of pastimes in Bhagavad which show how sweet the Lord is. One example is he descended to this world 5,000 years ago. He doesn't have to come to this world, but he comes because he's missing us. We don't perhaps even remember him. We don't care for him. We blame him when anything goes wrong. We blaspheme him as we like. But he never abandons us, just like the father and mother would not abandon the children, even if they are not necessarily, the most sort of obedient children or nice children. The father and mother, if the child comes back, they would still, honor the child as much as, because they love the child anyway. So God is the same. He loves us very much. We've sort of abandoned him, but he's never abandoned us. But he came 5,000 years ago. He did some most amazing pastimes. One of his pastimes was this old woman came. He grows as from a baby, but even as a baby, like a 6-year-old baby, he did a 6-day-old baby. He did amazing things. But he was only like 1, maybe 2, maybe 1, I think. And a fruit seller came, an old lady. And this old lady was just shouting out like they do, especially in India, I have fruit, anybody like? The little Krishna walks out, I want some fruit. So he grabs, he takes some little fruit. And this woman, she's got nothing in her life except for this basket of fruit. That's all she's got. That's her living. Looking at Krishna, she's thinking, what an adorable child. Take. So she gave him fruit. And she said, you have to give me some money, something. Go and ask your mom. So he went, took the fruit, came back. He came back with some little bit of rice in his hand. And all of the rice was falling because his hand is such a small hand.
Oh.
He looked at him. She was just looking at him, thinking, what a beautiful child. And he dropped a couple of rice on her hand. And then he went away. So she was just still mesmerized by this beautiful child. She didn't care about, she didn't get any money but then when she looked down and she looked at her basket, there were rubies and diamonds and jewels and she was thinking, how did that happen? It was the sweetness of the Lord. And she didn't even care for that. After seeing him, she was thinking, I don't need anything now. I've seen the love of my life. And she completely dedicated her life to this little child.
Oh,
And she went back to the spiritual world.
okay.
He did so many of things like that. Of course, he gave a big thumping to some of the bad guys. But even when he would give him a thumping, he would actually promote them through the spiritual world.
Oh, wow.
What he would do wrong. So whenever, even when he kills, because you can't kill, right? The soul never dies. So when the soul leaves the body, like Putana, 6-day-old, Krishna was 6-day-old, she came and she was going to poison him with her breast milk.
Oh, gosh.
And he sucked the life out of her breast. He accepted that breast poison milk as milk. And he accepted that as, he doesn't see bad in anybody. He accepted that milk, that poison as milk. And he promoted her into the spiritual kingdom to act as his nurse.
Wow.
Finally.
So some people have to work harder and some people get it easy. There must be a reason for that. Or it might be their previous karma.
Yeah. Maybe it's actually the Lord's mercy is not something that you can calculate or even work out. It comes, what's that word? His mercy is unalloyed. It's causeless. There's no formula behind the Lord's mercy, except we have to make an effort.
Yeah.
And then it's up to him. If the farmer doesn't sow the seed, even if it rains, there's not going to be any plants. But if we sow the seed, if the rain comes, great. If it doesn't come, what to do? We still make the effort. It's up to him.
Yeah. Has anyone got anything to share, Lynn? Have you got anything to share with us?
Well, I've never been part of anything like this before, and I'd like to say thank you for inviting me to join it. And it's absolutely brilliant. Really enjoying it.
Me and Lynn went to school together. I won't say how many years ago. and Lynn found me on social media.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, should we say, I don't know how many years is it? So 40 odd
A
years.
long time. It's about 40 years, isn't it? Something
Yeah,
like that.
we were at school together.
21, both of you.
Yeah, we were best friends at school. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lynn found me. So it's just amazing to find Lynn again. So we're thinking of this lockdown, lots of things. I don't know, maybe we would have found each other or, because of people as well.
Yeah. Well, we found each other because my mum had passed away. And we'd got the photographs, brought them over here. And my son has just got engaged to a lady called Heidi. And we were going through the photographs and I found my school photograph. And I've talked about Sunita over the years, many times, because we were the best of friends. And my daughter's best friend is called Jess, and they do everything together. And I've always said to Helen, my daughter, that her friend Jess is my Sunita, and we'd lost touch over the years. And when Heidi saw this photograph, and she said, "Have you never tried to find her?" So I said, "Well, I wouldn't know where to start." It was because of that Heidi kind of found Sunita. Straight away we got back in touch, and it's been great because obviously I only lost my mum about 5-6 weeks ago. And it was very sad, and we shared that, and she did special prayers and things on the day that my mother was kind of cremated and things like that, and it's helped me quite a lot. And this has actually also helped a lot as well, listening to the different parts of it. I think it's great. Thank you.
That's what I thought of you, because for you it's very raw. For me it was 5 years ago, but for you very, very raw. That's why I invited Lynn. It'd be nice for her to share and to share her journey as well.
Yeah, It's really nice.
Very nice, yeah. It's a sort of
Ooh.
and I'm just saying, with the same, I mean, I'm taking over like a brother Nabi's place now, because if you feel a bit down, 4 o'clock every day, absolutely same link for the Zoom. If you
Oh,
ever
brilliant.
feel,
Oh,
yeah,
right, that's nice
and
to
you
know.
can always, I mean, I'm in the dark. I just mute myself, and it's just nice to listen. Sometimes people don't know I'm there. I just mute it in the dark. But if you listen to like stories and things, it's really nice.
Oh, yeah, I will do that.
I know, because I know you work, but you know, if you're a day off or you're feeling a bit down,
Yeah.
just use that Zoom link, you know, I gave you, and it's.
Oh, will do. Yeah, thank you for that. It really is nice. Feel like part of something, you know what I mean? Even though we're all in different places.
I know, Lynn's in Manchester.
Yeah.
And which school did you go to? Where did you go to school where you met?
It was the Abraham Moss School in
The Abraham Moss
Beacon
Centre.
Hill, wasn't it? Yeah.
North Manchester, Crunsall, North Manchester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
It's a long time, yeah.
Long time, yeah.
Long ago, yeah. But if you feel ever down, I mean, I try. I mean, today I was busy, obviously, with work. But you know, if your day off, you feel a bit, you think, oh, you know, you can always ring me as well. But I mean, if you feel like something a bit spiritual, a bit different, you know, lots of people, it's quite nice. You
And
know,
it's at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
4 o'clock every day.
Yes,
And
I will join that. Yeah.
I know, you know, like you're thinking of your mum's journey, what's happened to her, and what's happened to her soul, you know, things like that. It'll really help.
Yeah. Yes, I will join that. Thank you.
We don't intend to convert. We just want to share.
Yes.
Sharing information, which is from the scriptures, and one can take it as one likes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's beauty. And we're very fortunate to be in a situation where we don't have any motivations. We don't have any expectations either. We just live, and it's fantastic.
Well, there's a lot of things you've said. I personally identify with a lot of that, and I think that's actually, well, it's universal. There's a lot of things that it's given me a lot to think about, and I really enjoy it.
Very nice, yeah, because you it's very raw. So I know I've been in your journey as well. I've been, and I know exactly how you feel. Yeah, so if ever, yeah, you're thinking, you know, it'll help you with your journey.
Yeah. It will definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really
Oh
nice.
yeah.
One day we'll go to India. We'll go to Vrindavan. We might go in the group with these guys.
We have talked about that, haven't we? So that would actually be nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And Pramila, where are you, Pramila?
Mil, you have to mute.
Because I'm in Bedford at the moment, listening. So thank you, Sunita, for inviting me, and lovely to meet everybody. So yeah, it's lovely. We listen to the Gita kind of on and off, and it's really lovely hearing. I've never heard of this the story of the Purushottama Mass, and vaguely familiar.
Okay.
Vaguely familiar, but the way you've described it sounds really it feels special. It's really special to be here. There's some kind of link, and I think, as Lynn was saying, a lot resonates. Okay. And just hearing the chapters and the text being read I've always found that really lovely, really nice. So you don't get a chance to really listen. To listen to that, so it feels really special. Yeah, my husband was here, so I think he said, yeah, it's lovely. We do kind of attend bhajans and kathas and listen, you know, on YouTube or TV.
Yes.
But this is really lovely. This is totally new to me. So thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
So we could finish with the Nishinga prayers of protection for everybody. And Do you want to offer a ghee lamp or anything to the pictures that you have, or to the detail?
I've got. I'd like to. It's not it's a candle. I'd like to.
It's good.
That's fine.
Yeah, candle is good.
I've got two candles here.
Right.
Arati. I've got Radha Krishna on one tab. I've got Krishna on his own with Ganesh and Kali and Durga Mata. So I've got two lamps lighting, some fruit.
Yeah.
I can't find the frame.
I didn't get a chance to do Semolina Prashad. I'm just, I'm running so late, but I've got some fruit and everything. So I've got some offering.
Wait a minute, it is necessary because wait, what we expected from you. It's going to be a bit of a shock, by the way. Okay, there you go. Can you see that at all?
Wow.
Oh wow! Yes.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's Tally, big style.
That is lovely.
Just
Can I ask a quick question regarding doing the arti? When, if at all, if there is such a thing, when is best to offer arti, time wise? Morning, during the day, night, or it doesn't matter? Please.
Ideal. But if you're rushing in the morning, then in the evening,
Okay. Right. So, all right. So, in the evening, anytime, because from Mauritius, we were told, something about 6 o'clock in the evening, when you start lighting the divos and or the, they were a little bit more prescriptive about the time to do the arti, but it doesn't matter. Evening time wise. Okay. Okay.
because here's sunset in the winter.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
10 o'clock. So yeah.
It's time difference as well. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I mean as well, 4 o'clock, and it's lots of nice stories as well and bhajans. So the same link I gave you. I'm inviting everybody now.
Yeah. Thank you. It's good to know.
Sundays as well. We don't take a day off. So
Yeah. It's 24/7 they're here.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
I'm learning this bhajan. It's this arati. It's so beautiful.
yeah.
oh, great. This actually, we can just read the English. You want to?
Offer my obeisances to Lord Nrsimhadev. This is another form of God who is always giving bliss to his devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and chiseling at the hearts of demons like Hiranyakashipu. The devotee always sees Lord Nrsimha everywhere. Lord Nrsimha is within and without. Therefore, let us all take shelter of Lord Nrsimha. Oh, my Lord Nrsimha, your hands are very beautiful like the lotus flower, but with your long nails, you have ripped apart the vast Hiranyakashipu. To the Lord of the universe, I offer my humble obeisances.
So this Nrsimhadev, we were saying one God has many different forms. So we shouldn't think that they're God. Sometimes in Hinduism, there's this mistaken belief that, Hindus believe in many gods. Well, actually, it's not completely accurate. There are many forms of the one God. So, okay. So we can just sing this all the way through, isn't it?
And this is actually a prayer of protection. So you again, Lynn, you can we can pray for your mother's soul.
Yes, very good.
With this, protect her wherever that soul is.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, we can dedicate today, if Sunita's okay, to your. What's her name?
My mom. Sorry, Beryl.
Beryl.
Okay.
Beryl. She was called Beryl. Beryl Stevens. Yeah.
Okay, so we can dedicate this to her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Namaste. Oh, you can offer the lamp now.
You can offer while we're singing. Hiranyakashipurvakshaya Shrilatankanakayari Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho
Yato yamita to nasinga. Vahe nasinga edai nasinga. Narsinha Made Sharanam Prapade Tava Kalakamalabare Nakham Aduta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Dhanavringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nashingadev 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 Jaya Nashingadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Tagora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arati. I'll put rice and milk.
Perfect. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Arati.
Hare Krishna. So, really appreciate sharing this time with you, Lynn, and also Pamela. Really nice. This was really satsangs.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for being letting me be part of it. It's been really nice.
It's lovely. It's really nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome to join us at 4 o'clock anytime. Anytime.
Will do. I will do. And thank you again. That's really been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
I know you feel it's. Before we go, I know we're going over the time. Can I just ask? I mean, my mum passed away 5 years ago. I'm just wondering how her journey will be. What's her journey like now?
She will be in her next destination, that's for sure. Were you in the seminar we did, The Journey of the Soul?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that's a few Saturdays ago. Yeah.
We did a day trip to hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, her mother was a very pious lady. And I remember her coming to the temple and we having so many discussions. And only I think after she left this world, we got to know Sunita much better, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I did accompany her a few times, but you knew her better. I did come with her.
But she was a very sweet personality, and her destination is definitely a good destination because her nature and her consciousness was very good. So she will be, I am 100% sure she's continuing on her journey, but she had that quest to find the spiritual truth.
Yes, because I've heard, because I was looking at your lovely books on display, and she said she doesn't want to go in the Christian way, she wants to go with Krishna. I just overheard that she wanted a special package, and we didn't. I don't know whether she might have had an insight that she might not be here for very long.
She did have. She was very clear, actually, what she wanted.
What she wanted, yes. I mean, that's why I took her to Haridwar. I mean, I asked you the journey. I mean, I took her to Haridwar, and her remains was there. So I hope I did the right
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
right.
Conversations with her quite clearly.
Mm.
Very interesting lady. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I hope so, Journey. Oh, Hare Krishna. Oh, thank you so much for. I was worried actually, but at least it turned out it's a lovely satsang. Thank you so much for
Thank you. Yes, it was.
offering this to me. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Really appreciate your time. And thank you, Mataji.
Masi,
Yes,
Jai Shri
Nice to meet you. Hare Krishna.
Desembratu.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I just
All right. I think maybe it's a Priya Parekh from the Coventry.
Ah,
I am her grandma.
oh,
Maybe Priya and Jayshree Parekh.
Ah.
I think they go to always London and everywhere.
Kanchan.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, long time.